morning, everybody. Rise and shine. Happy Monday to you all. Thank you for joining myself and Betsy this morning for our yoga and Pilates workout. So for my segment, doing yoga today, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on standing poses. We're going to be working a lot more on your muscles that help you to balance, but ensure that through your breath, you are mindfully working on the inner core as well. That's going to make a big difference in your standing poses. Right? So we're going to come into a seated position first and just work on that breath that I was talking about. So when we use Ujjayi breathing, it's going to help you become more conscious of your breath, not just because it requires you to put a little bit more effort as you breathe out, but the sound that you hear through your Ujjayi breath, or otherwise known as ocean breath, is going to help you pay attention more to your breathing as well. Use it like a beacon, right, to make you more attentive of your breath. So how you do it is as you inhale through your nose, you try to relax your neck and your shoulders. When you exhale, it's like you are trying to say H-A. You're trying to fog up a mirror, but you do it with your mouth closed. So it's going to look and sound like you would actually be able to hear your breath kind of like the ocean, the waves at the ocean gently crashing, or like Darth Vader breathing. All right, so we're going to do that together for just another 2 more rounds. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling. Shoulders are relaxed. One more time. Inhale and exhale. We're going to start off with some simple warming up movements first. So having your fingers interlocked in front of you, I'd like you to have your palms facing me and press up towards the sky. And as you exhale, round your back. So now your knuckles face me, but you're trying to do a crunch gently with your upper body. As you inhale, press your hands forwards and up once again. If your arms don't go up as high, it's okay. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin in towards your chest. We'll do it again 2 more times. Inhale. And this gently warms up your shoulders as well. Exhale. Every time your arms reach upwards, inhale. It makes it easier for you to breathe deeply to the bigger lung lobes around the ribs as well. Keep your hands there. We're going to go towards your right side now. So right hand comes down, left arm goes up and overhead. Inhale, come back towards the center, and exhale towards your left side with your right arm. Inhale, let's go again. Exhale, side bending, one way and then the other. We're just going to gently warm up the spine here as well. And let's do this one more time. Exhale to your right side. Inhale, come back center. Exhale to your left side. Inhale, come back center. And then let's come into all fours now. Palms below your shoulders and knees below your hips. Let's have our hands shoulder width distance apart and your knees hip width apart. All right, I'd like you to have your index fingers point more towards the front. We're going to go into cat-cows now, warming up your spine. And as you inhale, look up. Remember, the neck is part of your spine as well. Exhale. So we're going to involve the head here to get a bit more movement through the neck. Inhale. Looking up, chin up, point your tailbone up as well. Now exhale, round the back. So we're stretching the back of the spine, back of the neck. Twice more. Inhale, look up. And exhale, so we're warming up the muscles on your back and your abdominals by doing this wave-like movement in your spine as well. Very simple. Exhale. Push it into the ground with your hands. So you switch on the muscles that support your arms and your shoulders as well. Now we're going to come into 3-legged dog here. So keep your hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Tuck your toes. Now take 1 baby step backwards first, right? You notice that I just took a small step and then I lift my hips up and back. Now for many of us, you actually prefer to keep your heels down, but that may take away the stretch that's meant to happen here. So don't have your feet and your hands come too close together, okay? If you need to, bend your knees. For those of you who have lower back tension, bend your knees. It's okay, all right? Now, if you can keep your legs straight and you're not rounding your back, great. Now I'm going to center my feet in towards the middle so my big toes come together to touch. I'm going to take my right leg up this time, bend the knee and twist from the hips. So I'm shining my hips towards the right side, but I'm keeping my chest facing my foot that's on the ground. I'm going to hold it here for another 2 more deep breaths. Now, if your heel does not rest on the ground, it's okay, all right? But just try to use gravity here to help you let the heel melt towards the mat instead of trying too hard. All right, straighten that top leg, lower it down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg goes up, bend that knee and twist from your hips. Trying to get your hips to face the left side now, but your chest still kind of faces your foot that's on the ground. You'll feel a stretch across the left side of your waist, your hips, broadness across the chest from shoulder to shoulder, right? And then obviously your head is pulling on one end of your spine, so this is a great spinal decompression movement as well. Now go ahead and take 1 more deep breath here, and then slowly lower the leg down. I'm going to step my right foot to the space between my hands for a low lunge. Now for many of you, if it does not get there and you kind of just stop halfway, use one hand, guide the foot forwards, point the back foot, and you're going to prop yourselves up onto your thigh, onto your knee. Now make sure that you're not compressing your lower back by just sinking your hips forwards and compressing the lower back, right? So I'd like you to hold the baby crunch here as you shift your hips forwards and down. So ideally, you need to feel that stretch across the front of your left hip. Reaching your arms up is an option for those of you who don't have any shoulder discomfort. And like I mentioned earlier, whenever your arms are reaching upwards, it does facilitate you breathing more to where the bigger lung lobes are around your ribs. So use that, right? And then we're still doing that Ujjayi breath here. So as you inhale through your nose, exhale, mouth close. Let's do that again. Inhale through your nose, and exhale, mouth close. We are stretching this part here, hip flexors. Now I'm going to slowly lower your hands down towards the ground and take 1 big step back with your fingers. Those of you who do have discomfort around your knees, placing it down like that, you can always have an extra towel to cushion your knee, right? Now I'm going to point my toes up towards the ceiling for the front foot. If your leg does not straighten out, right, and it still stays very bent, but you feel a fantastic stretch along the back of your thigh, you're still doing it well, all right? So if you need to, shuffle the heel slightly further forwards to enable you to straighten the leg with a bit more ease, and then lower your chest towards your thigh. Lower your forehead towards your knee or your shin if your body allows you to, right? So where I want you to feel the stretch is to the back of your thigh. No pain, no discomfort to your lower back. The moment you do, you either keep your knee bent, right, or you don't go down as low, right? So the goal here is to feel the stretch along the back of your thigh. As with any of the movements, poses that we do here, make sure you're feeling the benefit and you're not just trying to form a shape, okay? So you have to adjust if you need to, but listen to your body. Right, we're going to shift the weight forwards. We're going to press your hands down alongside that front foot. Tuck your back toes, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Right, leg steps back. You should already feel the difference on one leg compared to the other. Right, now left leg, get ready. Step it in between the hands, and if you need to guide it forwards with your hand, go ahead and do that. Right, point your back foot. Set yourself up for your low lunge. So baby crunch here. Lower your hips down closer towards the ground. Arms extending up. And if you're steady, look up towards the ceiling as well. Of course, if this is uncomfortable for your neck, you look forwards instead. There will never be a one-size-fits-all, right? It does feel different from person to person. Sometimes we have injuries. Sometimes you just didn't sleep well the day before. Your practice will differ from day to day also. So just see what your body needs to do that day, what option your body needs to do that day. Let's take just 1 more breath here. And then very slowly, we're going to lower your hands down. We're going to walk it back 1 step. Go ahead and shift your weight backwards. Point your toes up towards the ceiling. And then if you can, keep that leg straight as you melt. The chest down towards your thigh, then your forehead towards your knee. If you need to, bend that knee. If you can, keep that leg very straight. All right, so you should feel the stretch along the back of your lower leg as well, especially if you're trying to point your toes up towards the ceiling. Let's stay here for just 1 more breath. And then let's go ahead and shift your weight towards the front, and you're going to step forwards to the front of your mat, where we're going to start to begin our standing poses. Let's take 4 full breaths to come up to a stand. Some of you will have your knees very bent, especially those with lower back pain, but we're going to inhale, exhale, and just dangle your arms, dangle your head, and look towards your knees. We're gonna inhale, exhale, come up halfway, and you're looking at your thighs. I want you to use gravity here to help you just still stretch the back of the neck, right? Inhale, exhale, 3/4 up, and I'm looking at my stomach. Inhale, exhale, now I come all the way to the top. Let's start with your big toe standing, right? So if you have to, stand next to a wall to help you with balancing, or hold a table or a chair. Otherwise, hands on the hips. I'm gonna take one baby step back, okay? You're gonna raise your left leg up and away from the ground. Now, option one, which is always easier, you're gonna hook your big toe and just stand here. Now, avoid rounding the back too much or slouching. All right, if possible, stand up as tall as you can and use your Ujjayi breath to help you engage your inner corset. All right. Now, if you can, you're going to start to straighten that leg all the way to the front. Again, you want to try to keep your torso as upright as possible. Standing leg, push it down into the ground. Ideally, we're going to stay here for about 8 deep breaths, right? So use your Ujjayi breath here and find a focal point as well. What I'm doing is finding something that does not move at all. And then at the same time, I also want to make sure that it's something that's almost about eye level. So that helps me to align my neck too, yeah? And to position my head in a way that is stacked up so nicely over my spine, because the moment it goes off my center of gravity, it's going to make it harder for me to balance. So think about that. One more breath here. And then very slowly, we're going to bend that knee and lower it down. Excellent. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So hands on the hips once again. Find your focal point. Now look at my head. If my focal point is too low, my head's going to pull me forwards. It's going to be hard to balance, okay? So find a focal point slightly higher up. Right leg comes off the ground. 2 fingers on your right hand. Hook the big toe. Option, just stay here. Maybe hold that wall, all right? And then, if you can, straighten that leg out. So all I want you to do is to keep your shoulders relaxed, push into the ground, and use your breath to help engage the inner corset, right? So utilize your deep breathing muscles as well, and not just think about using superficial muscles here. When we use Ujjayi breathing, it helps us to access using the horizontal muscles inside also, right? And that includes not just your innermost abdominal muscle, but also your pelvic floor and your diaphragm. Let the diaphragm rise and fall and get the massage to the internal organs as it was meant to. One more breath here. And very slowly, bend that knee and lower the foot down. Nice. That was a great stretch for the back of the thighs also, not just for working the balancing muscles. We're going to move on to another balancing pose, one of my favorite poses when it comes to balancing actually. So we're going to take the feet to the center, big toes are touching. I'm going to have the left leg cross over the right. So kind of like this. I'm going to face you for this one, right? So from here, I'm going to take a seat backwards. Hands come together, fingertips touching, thumb tips touching. Shoulders relax. Eyes look slightly forwards, right? So I'm going to show you how it looks like from the side. Of course, you can hold onto the table or the wall to help you with balancing as well. But I'm actually shifting my hips back as I lower my chest forwards, right? So do make sure that you are not rounding your back at this point. Again, because it is balancing, I'm finding a focal point to help me align my neck so that it does not cause my head to pull me to a position where it's harder to balance, right? So think about using your head as well when it comes to balancing. One more breath here. And very slowly press to come back up. So you should have felt that stretch along the outside of your hip for whichever leg is on top. Those of you who run a lot, this is a really nice stretch to work with, all right? Let's do the same thing on the other side. This is your standing pigeon, all right? So take a seat. Hips back and down, shoulders are relaxed. Now I'm going to feel that stretch across the outside of the hip, whichever leg is on top, like I mentioned. But I'm still trying to spread the toes at the same time for my standing foot. The moment I curl my toes, I clench my toes like I'm trying to grip the ground with my foot, it's going to be very difficult for you to balance already, right? So in each of the poses that we're doing today, I'd like you to hold it for about 8 breaths. Of course, if you can hold it for longer, 10, 12 breaths, go right ahead. All right? But for beginners, let's try to hold it for about 8 breaths. All right? It should be tiring enough for you. and then focus on using your Ujjayi breath as well. One more breath here. And then very slowly, press to come back up, release the foot down, shake the legs. We're balancing again. All right, dancer pose. So we just stretched the outside of the hips. We're gonna stretch the front of your thighs this time round. So standing with your feet together, once again, you're gonna have your right foot staying, left leg, pick it up from behind. Option 1, you just catch your foot and work on balancing. Option 2, I like you to extend your right arm up, and then as you lean forwards with your upper body, push back with your foot that you're holding onto. Now even out the effort to push forwards and to press back with your hand and your foot. Again, find that focal point to help you with balancing. If you need to, just hold on to the wall or the table for balance, right? So even out the effort to push forwards and back, that actually helps you to stay here for a lot longer with more ease, right? Again, 8 breaths that you want to stay here as well. Finding that position where you are not waving your arm out to the side, you're not pushing your foot out to the side either. Stay within the frame of your body. And then let's change it over to the other side. Right leg comes up, left arm extends, and then we start to lean forwards. Now one side will always be harder than the other. As we are stretching that top leg along the front side, you are also stretching the bottom leg on the back. So you should feel the hamstrings lengthening and working while you're holding in this position here. All right, so gaze to the tip of your fingers, if you can, on that front. Push into the foot that you're holding onto behind. All right, let's stay here for just 2 more deep breaths. And 1. And very slowly coming back up, relax. All right, so you can always hold onto that wall to help with balancing if you need to, right? That's actually one of my favorites as well, because it really challenges you to focus on a lot of different things at one time. Let's move on to your Crescent Lunge, right? So feet are starting at the front of your mat, hands on your hips. We're gonna step your left leg back onto tiptoe. Now beginners, you may want to start off with your knee on the ground, like what we did earlier in your low lunge, and you can always come up, on and off. You don't have to stay for all 8 breaths that we're doing here, all right? But watch my back foot. It is on tiptoe. I want you to feel the little muscles around the feet, around the toes working while you're here. So keep the heel high, bend that front knee, and if you have to, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle the foot further forwards to give you a wide enough stance. I'm still holding on to my baby crunching muscles here, and when you're ready, arms extend up, lower the hips down. If balancing is not so much an issue for you here, look up to the space between your hands, but ensure that the back of your neck does not feel compressed while you're holding it here, right? So if you do feel discomfort around the neck, you look forwards. If you feel discomfort around your arms, you put your hands on your hips, and that's okay, right? So where I want you to feel the stretch is to the front of your left hip. Stay right there for another 2. 1. And then very slowly, place your hands down on your hips and then step it forwards. If you need to, go into your knees first, all right? We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So place your hands on your hips once again, and then you're gonna step your right leg back. Staying on tiptoe, lower the hips down towards the ground, as low as you can, all right? We're gonna sink the hips down to the point where you actually feel that stretch across the front of your right hip. And then make sure that you're trying to keep the distance between your ribs and the hips similar. Extend your arms up so you don't increase that space between the ribs and the hips when the arms reach up and when you try to look up. So that helps to ensure that your lower back does not go into a space of discomfort, right? Holding it there, breathe deep to the sides and the back of your ribs. Remember, the expansion of your lungs within your ribs is going to help you to support, right, that whole entire area around the lower back as well, where it's very delicate for many people. All right, we're going to hold it here for another 3. Gaze to the space between your hands if you can. If not, just go and look forwards, okay? Now 1 more deep breath here. And slowly place your hands back on your hips And we're going to step forwards to the front of your mat. Shake the legs out. Now for this next one, Humble Warrior, we're going to be involving the front of the upper torso a lot. So with your hands, watch, I'm going to have them interlocked, right, at the fingers, and the palms are pressing against one another. So you cannot see your hands once they go behind you. I like you to make sure that the palms don't start to separate. So press the hands together and extend the arms away from you at the same time. Now for this pose, we're going to start at the front of your mat. Feet are together. Interlock your fingers at this point. Find the space where you actually can focus your gaze at. The moment you go down, that will help you to align your neck. So we're going to start to step the left leg back to the same spot that you were in earlier, except with the arms still extending back, you're going to lower the head down towards the front, kind of like you're taking a bow. But you can't see this from the side. I'm actually not resting my torso against my thigh, okay? I'm lowering it down. For some of you, if you need to, back knee can come down, and that's okay, right? If you can, keep the knee off, and you're gonna lower your torso down. For those of you who can go lower, you try. Cannot, never mind. But I am not resting torso against thigh. That takes away a lot of work from the torso, right? Let's stay here for another 4 more breaths, okay? So like I said earlier, those of you who can go lower, you go lower. Arms go up and over at the same time. So try to keep your chest open, shoulders broad. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. If you need to, lower the back knee down first. Press down on that front leg. Hands on the hips, step it forwards. Feet to the front of your mat. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So find your feet coming in to meet in the center. Step your right leg back this time. Staying on tiptoe. Front knee stays bent. Back leg, watch. Like I said before, heel over the toes, right? So work those muscles around the foot, around the toes. Option, back knee can come down towards the ground. So hang on to those baby crunching muscles there, right? So good for your back that way. Hands go behind. Once again, spread the toes for that front foot. And then go ahead and lean forwards and down. Arms extending up and over, holding it there. Find that position, like I said earlier, that's going to help you be able to balance. The last thing you want to do is close your eyes, okay? Don't forget to bring your arms up and over to feel that stretch across the front of your shoulders, your chest. Now for many of you, you're going to feel it around your biceps as well, right? The front of your upper arms. Extend that back leg. Stay here for 4. Make sure that you're not resting the weight on the thigh and taking away the work that's meant to happen around the torso, okay? 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then very slowly, lower the hands down. We're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Press your hands down and step back. And then holding it here, just notice how your legs feel at this point compared to when we first started this morning's practice, right? Fatigue is very real, okay? And it does take you time to improve your stamina over time, right? So we're just gonna lower your knees down towards the ground. Good. Place your hands behind you and walk them back a little bit further behind. Now you should feel that stretch across the front of your thighs. Making sure that you stretch at the end of your practice is very important. The moment you make it a habit not to do it, you're going to find tension starts to set in very easily. Your recovery is also affected in a negative way, right? So just make it part and parcel of your practice, right? You work hard, but you also have to help your body to recover after that, right? We're going to come on to a low lunge once again. This is one area that I didn't manage to help you stretch earlier on. So we're going to take your left leg that's behind towards the right side. And then take your right hand to the inner foot side. Left arm goes up, and now use your arm to push that knee backwards. You're going to feel the inner thigh stretching. All right, so hold it out here. If you can, look up towards the ceiling. If you need to, you look down towards the ground instead. All right, so this does help us to feel more stable. Looking up makes it a bit more challenging. Holding it here for another 2 more breaths. Let your heart rate slow down a little. One more breath. And then we're going to lower your hands down. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Return your foot back to the center, tuck your toes, step back, downward facing. Same thing, left foot steps in between your hands, guide it forwards if you have to. Leg that's behind, bring it towards the left side. Right foot, left side. I'm going to take my left hand down this time. I'm going to raise my right arm up. If you can, look up. And if you have to, you look down. All right, holding it out here for another 3. So use this arm, push that thigh backwards, right? So you feel the inner thigh stretch on this leg. One more deep breath here. And then very slowly, lower it down, return the leg back towards the middle, and step to the front. I'm going to take 4 full breaths once again to come up to a stand. So inhale, exhale, 1/4. Let that back stretch here. It's not just about the legs. Inhale, exhale, halfway up, looking at your thighs. Inhale, exhale, 3/4 up, looking at the stomach. So I'm still stretching the back of my neck. And then inhale, exhale, all the way to the top. So that is the standing poses that I have for you today. Up next, we have Betsy, who's going to be doing some Pilates with you. So get ready, roll out your mats, get your towel as well, and she's going to be working on the core with everyone. So stay tuned.
I love how this rush gear makes me feel. Every time I put it on, I feel super powerful. My training is super intense, so I need something like this that's going to make me feel strong and ready to go.
Welcome back to the Monday show. So I'm very happy to be here again. So last week I missed my session with you guys. So I hope you guys are here to work hard with me now. All right. So Dawn has worked you quite hard earlier in the morning. So let's get ready for my segment. So I'll start by sitting up nice and tall first. We are just going to just slowly roll ourselves down towards the mat. Okay. So on the inhale breath, lengthen your spine. Feel your chest open. Shoulders are down. Lengthen your neck. And now exhale, let's slowly tuck the tailbone, roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. And you just go down and just stretch out your spine. All right, take a nice deep inhale breath here. Exhale, now chin to chest. And slowly engage your abdominal muscles. Roll up segment by segment as you sit up nice and tall. Let's do it again 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, now start to tuck your tailbone underneath your sit bones. And slowly roll down. Feel the spine going down each segment slowly. All right, and now as you go back down, relax, inhale, circle your arms to the sides. Exhale, now nod your chin to chest twist, lift your head up, and slowly feel the spine curling off the mat. Okay, now if that is too hard, you can obviously hold on to the back of your thighs to help you. All right, last one time here, inhale. Exhale, now slowly rolling down. Control. Now this exercise is excellent to work your abdominal muscles in what we call the eccentric phase, all right? So it's slowly going to lengthen up. And now from here, your abdominal muscles are going to shorten to help you sit up tall to return. Okay, now let's get you to lie down on the mat and just relax. Okay, place your hands down by the sides of your body. And I'm just going to bring my legs closer to me first. So let's warm up the lower spine just a little bit more to get you into that pelvic tilt that I always ask you guys to do at the start of the workout. Okay, so I'm going to maintain neutral pelvis. That means on my hip bones and my pubic bone is going to stay on one level. Okay, so here this triangular plane is going to be parallel to the mat right now. So arms by the sides. Inhale, I can feel my tailbone resting on the mat. Exhale, now I'm going to breathe out through the mouth. Tuck the tailbone and now feel the spine pressing down into the mat now. Okay, like I'm going to crush a little beta under my lower back. All right, inhale now, slowly let the beta breathe and we return back to our neutral pelvis. Okay, let's go again. Exhale, so I'm going to place my hands here to show you how I'm tilting. I'm going to squeeze my lower spine down into the mat, so now my pubic bone is higher than my hip bones. Inhale now, slowly relax back to neutral pelvis, rest level again. Last one time here, exhale, breathing out. And now we hold that imprint, okay? So you're not going to let the beta run anywhere, you're going to hold it down there, all right? Now maintain this abdominal slight crunching position, and I'm going to lift one leg up to tabletop. And now make sure I'm engaging my abdominal muscles, not allowing the body to sway. I'm going to float the other leg up to tabletop. Okay, now from here, I make sure I'm not arching my back throughout the whole exercise. You need to maintain your spine pressing down into the mat. That is going to work your abs harder. Okay, now if you feel like your neck is dropping back and it's causing your spine to arch, please feel free to put a towel under your head to just kind of prop yourselves up a little. Okay, so from here, maintaining my abdominals holding in. Inhale, I'm going to take a deep breath. Exhale, now I'm going to move my left thigh away from the front of my body. Okay, so I'm not touching the floor, I'm almost tapping. All right, inhale now, I pull it back into return. Exhale now, change to the other side, right leg down, and you just feel the abdominal muscles have to work harder as you bring your toes down towards the mat. Inhale now, pull it back into return. Let's do 10 times in total. Exhale, now let's go with the left again. Inhale and return. Exhale, now down with the right. So this exercise is not meant to be done fast. Okay, you want to do it slowly to feel at every degree of your leg movement, how does it feel on your abs? All right, exhale now 6. Inhale 2, pull it back in. Last 4 here, exhale 7. Inhale to return. Last 3, exhale 8. Easy, right? But actually you feel a lot inside, all right? Exhale, make sure you're still pressing the beta under your spine, 9. Inhale to return. Last one here, exhale 10. Okay, I feel a little bit of work now. All right, come back into center. Okay, my abs. Okay, I'm going to keep your legs holding up here, so try not to drop them. Okay, now let's try double leg. Okay, so double leg is going to be harder because it's twice the weight of what you were doing earlier on. So now let's keep our inner thighs engaged. Squeeze your knees and ankles together so you're not going to let your legs separate. Okay, so palms pressing down into the mat. Keep your whole arm kind of like putting a little bit of pressure into the mat. My lower spine is still pressing in. Okay, inhale. Exhale now, I'm just going to lower both toes towards the mat. It may not touch, okay? If not, you might feel like you're arching your back. If I hold here, you can see me tremble. Inhale now, pull it into return. Okay, let's go for a few more. Exhale, slowly going down. So if this is your range, that's fine. You can go lower, that's also good. All right, inhale now, pulling back into return. Let's go for 6 more. Exhale, 3. Let's do 8 in total. All right, inhale to return. So try not to bend your knee and just tap like this, okay? That's not the way to do it. All right, exhale now, bring the front of your thighs away from your body. Inhale now, pull it in to return. That's 4. You have 4 more. Exhale, 5. Inhale to return. I'm feeling my core now. Exhale, 6. Inhale to pull. You have 2 more. Exhale, 7. Like I said, the slower the harder the exercise is. Okay, last one here, exhale, 8. Inhale to return. Okay, now keep your legs here if you can. If not, you can rest. Okay, I'm going to keep mine here. Now hands will go behind your head for the next exercise. So again, now let's do a little bit of crunches. I don't like to do too many, so let's just do maybe 8 here, all right? So my elbows are open, chest is open, collarbone is nice and wide. And now from here, I'm just going to knot my chin to chest, exhale, curl up, and now inhale, lowering down to return. Okay, exhale, now curling up for 2. Inhale, lower with control. And 3, and down, and 4, and lower. Last 4 here, 5, inhale back. Last 3, exhale, 6. Try to keep your elbows wide, but not overly wide, okay? That will stop you from curling up. 7. Last one here, exhale, 8. Okay, inhale and return. All right, now let's keep our right hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, I'm going to use my left hand to support my head. Make it easier for us. Okay, inhale, exhale, curling up. My left hand is holding the back of my head. Now I'm just going to extend my left leg and right hand back. So left leg goes out to a diagonal, right hand goes beside the ears. Inhale, come back in to return. Same side, exhale, 2. Inhale to return. Oh dear, I'm trembling today. Exhale, 3. A lot of core here. Exhale, 4. Inhale to return. Last 4 here, 5. And back. And 6. And return. 2 more, 7. And back in. Last one here, 8. And return. Okay, lower your head down. Keep your legs there if you still can. If not, just rest it down. Okay, I'm going to take a little break here. Whew. All right, let's go to the other side, all right? So, imprint the pelvis, spine still pressing down into the mat the whole time to protect your lower back. Okay, if you arch, you might injure yourself. Okay, so let's bring the other leg up. Change hands, right hand behind your head. And now left hand up towards the ceiling. So let's do the other side. Inhale. Exhale, curling up. Okay, now let's get ready. So exhale, right leg, left hand. Inhale, back in. Exhale, 2. Inhale, return. Okay, exhale, 3. Inhale, and we come back in. Exhale, 4. Inhale to return. 5. Okay, I'm losing height, so try to crunch up a little bit higher. 6, and return. Last 2 here, 7, and back. Lengthen your legs out long, and now coming back in. Lower down the upper body, one leg down, and the other leg down. Whew. Okay, are you ready for 2 legs? Okay, so let's combine. So arms and legs together. So similar shape that we're going to create. Okay, so imprint the pelvis, bring one leg up to tabletop, and I'll bring the other leg up to tabletop. Okay, I'm going to kind of make it slightly easier for me to use the back of my knees to curl me up. Okay, you can totally don't hold your knees, all right? So that's fine, we can do this together. So inhale, take a nice deep breath. Exhale, curling up. Okay, now really use the pulling action to help you crunch out a little bit higher first. Okay, it's going to help. Okay, now from here, let go of your legs. Inhale, exhale now. Legs out, hands up towards the crown of your head. Inhale, come back in to return. Exhale, 2. Inhale to come back. 8 reps here, and 3. Inhale to return. Exhale, 4. Inhale to pull. Exhale, 5. And back. 6. Last 2 here. Let's finish strong. 7. Good. You want your abs to feel it tomorrow. And 8. All right, come back in. Ooh, lower down, legs down. And I'd like you to just turn your neck from side to side. Okay, there might be a little bit of neck tension. You don't want to walk out with, your muscles here being so tense, right? Okay, so one more time. And now to the left, and now to the right. Okay, now let's focus a little bit more on the lower abdominals. So earlier on, we were doing a lot of crunching from upper, so technically it's more focused on upper abs. So now we're going into the lower abdominals, okay? So once you're here, let's hold the imprint again. So important when you are lying down, okay? You can totally do it in neutral, but the problem is some of us may just lose it in the middle, and you tend to overarch. Okay, so when it gets to that point, it's just going to put strain on your spine. Okay, so to make it safer, we always imprint the pelvis when we bring our legs up to tabletop. And bring the other leg up now. Okay, so where I am, I'm just going to hold it there. Inhale, let's straighten our legs out. If you can't, you can keep a slight bend in your knees if your hamstrings are tight. Okay, make sure you squeeze both legs together. Inhale, stay. Exhale, now just lower down slightly where you still feel like your spine is on the mat. Okay, inhale, now pull it in to return. Exhale, 2. So what I like to do is I like to test my abdominal range on some days. Okay, some days you may feel you can do more. Okay, some days you may feel stronger. Some days you may just feel like terrible. Okay, so you just want to see where's your end range today and challenge yourself just that little bit more. All right, exhale, lower down with control. My spine is still pressing down into the mat. Inhale, now pull it up to return. You can see some neck tension. Okay, that's normal, but not too ideal. Okay, so try to just relax a little bit. Last 2 here. And now return. Last one here, exhale, 8. And now inhale to pull it back. Okay, bend your knees to relax. You can hug your knees to chest first. Okay, now the next exercise, we are going to focus on twisting. Why is twisting so important? Because they work your oblique muscles just right at the sides of your body. Okay, there are 2 layers of your obliques, okay, and you really want your obliques to be strong, okay? A lot of day-to-day activity requires rotation of the spine. So let's work the obliques now. So I'm going to have one leg straight and one knee bent. Okay, so I start off with left leg straight so you can see it better. My right knee is flexed, and I'm just keeping the right foot beside the left knee. Hands will go behind the head first. Okay, so inhale, we're going to combine lift and lower. Exhale now, lowering down. As you curl up, I want you to curl up and twist. Bring your left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale, lower with control. Exhale now, up and rotate. And now down, 3. And now up, twist. And 4. And now up to twist. And 5. And 6. Let's do 8 again. 8 is a nice number. 9. And sorry, 7. Okay, last one here, 8. Hold it up here. Now I'd like you to keep your elbow aiming towards your right knee. Lower down, lift 1. Lower, lift 2. Down, and 3. Down, and 4. Just a little, and 5. Last 3 here, 6. Last 2 here, 7. Last one here, 8. Okay, come back in. Oh, that's a burn. Okay, lower your legs down to rest. Actually, I myself, I want to break too. Okay, so let's get ready to repeat the same thing onto the other side. Imprint the pelvis, one leg up to tabletop, and the other leg up to tabletop. Okay, now I'm straightening out my left leg. Change legs. Straighten my right leg and keep my left knee bent. Okay, so my left foot is going to be against my right knee. Hands behind your head first. Inhale, now we lower down slightly, making sure you're not arching your back. Exhale, curl up, twist 1. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curling up, twist for 2. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl up, 3. So try not to lower too quickly, if not you might arch your back too much again. Okay, 4. And 5. So for me, when I exercise, I always like to have awareness on my spine, because spinal injury is something that we don't want, okay? So strong core is important. 6. Last 2 here. 7. Last one here. 8. Hold it there. Lower down, lift 1. Lower down, lift 2. And down. And 3. Down. And 4. My this side is weaker. 5. 6. 7. Last one here. And 8. All right, come back in. Lower your legs down. And that was tough. I hope you feel a little bit of abdominal work. Okay, so let's hug our knees to chest and just relax. Okay, next up, I'm going to do a little bit of extension. All right, so get you to come on to your kneeling position. Okay, so I'm going to turn around back to what we call 4-point kneeling position. So I'm just going to stay pretty low. Okay, so we do some cat-cow stretch first, just to kind of relax your abs slightly, okay? My hands will stay directly under my shoulders, and my knees are directly under my hips, and my back is in a nice straight line, so it's forming like what we call a tabletop surface. Now, when you're here, some of us tend to do this. Okay, this is arching your back, right? So this is going to spine extension. So some of us may be kind of like here. Okay, this is kind of tricky, so if you look at me from the side, okay, what I'm actually doing is my back is kind of flat now. So I don't have the natural curve that my spine should have, right? So earlier on when we asked you to press your spine into the mat, that is technically an imprint, and that is technically this position. Can you see the slight difference? Okay, so this is an imprinted pelvis. I would like you to stay in neutral, which means you return a slight arch onto your lower back by keeping your middle and upper back kind of straight. Okay, so let's do a little bit of cat stretch here. So inhale, maintain neutral pelvis. Exhale now, chin to chest. Tuck my tailbone to imprint. Curl the spine up segment by segment as I push myself away from the mat as much as I can. Now, head will look down at your belly button to help you curl more into your upper back. Try to feel like someone punching you in your abdominals to curl you up higher. Okay? Inhale now from the center of your spine. You start to flatten the spine back into a neutral position. All right, let's go again 2 more times. Exhale now, curl. Inhale and return. Okay, last one time. Exhale and curl for 3. Now I'll add in a little bit more. So from here, I come back to neutral. Now I'm going to go into extension of the spine. So I'm going to have my head looking slightly in front of me. Not too much, okay? Just slightly in front. Sink my ribs down, sink my chest down. And now I go into extension. All right? And from here, exhale, curl around the spine to cat stretch. Inhale, slowly go past neutral. Go to extension of the spine. Exhale, now curl. All right, last one here, inhale. Now go into extension. You might want to sink your chest down slightly with your shoulder blade so you retract a little bit of your scapula. All right, and now slowly come back in. Let's return back to neutral and let's stay in neutral pelvis again. Okay, so from here, let's go into a little bit of balancing. Okay, so I'd like you to keep your weight evenly on both knees and keep your weight evenly on both hands first. Feel 4 points of your weight to hold your torso. Okay, now I'm going to maintain 4-point kneeling. Now in a while, I'm going to lift one hand off, but you need to keep your body centered. That means you're not going to sway to one side. All right, so inhale, let's stay here. Exhale, left hand forward, and now lift. Now, if you hold it there for 5 seconds, try to keep your weight evenly on both knees. Okay, you feel your core. All right, and now slowly lowering down. And now let's try the other side. So right hand up. To be honest, when I lift my right hand, it feels easier. Okay, so it's not going to be the same. No one is very symmetrical. All right, coming back down to return. Let's go with the left hand again. Left hand up. The reason being because I know my left obliques is weaker, so I'm feeling it more in when I lift my left. All right? Let's go with the right. My stronger side. All right, and now return. Now let's add the legs. Okay, so lift your left hand up. Now feel your weight distribution first. And now straighten out your right leg. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your goal is to be as stable as possible. Okay? Now you want to keep the body stable, but you want to move that knee in to touch your hand. Whoa, sorry. And now extend out to return. Okay, exhale. I need to keep my focus down looking at the mat. When I turn my head, my balance is off. 3, 4, maintain stability is your goal. And 5, super stable. Last one here, and 6, and up. Very good. And now let's bring the hand down, bring that leg down. Okay, now let's change to the other side. So I'm going to lift your right hand up first. So once your right hand is up, you're going to take your left leg up. Okay, now we hold it there again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now this is more demanding on your shoulder stability as well, because when you're here, if your left shoulder is weaker, you might feel a little bit less stable as well. Okay, so let's bring our left knee in, and now extend 1. Inhale, keep engaging your abdominal muscles, the feeling of engaging your core. And 3, ooh, my left hand is trembling. And 4, last 2 here, and 5, last one here, and 6. I don't know why my left hand is shaking so much today. All right, now bring the right hand down, bring the knee down, and now we go into a little bit of a shell stretch. Okay, now let's slowly roll the spine up. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to introduce a little bit of walking, okay, with your hands. So I'm going to do inchworm, so I'm going to get you to stand up first. So from here, I'm just going to stand up nice and tall to the ends of my mat. And I'm just going to think of a corset that I'm wearing to engage my abdominal muscles slightly. Okay, so inhale, we stay here. Exhale now, lower your chin to chest. Roll the spine down bone by bone. Keep your core engaged, you don't want to be swaying too much. Now keep your weight as center as possible. You're just going to walk out 3 steps, and the 4th step, you'll join both hands together into a plank. Okay, now exhale, now you're going to slowly walk back. 3, 2, 1, and roll yourselves up. Okay, how about we do 4 times here. All right, exhale now, chin to chest, round the back. And now walking out 1, 2, 3. Use your core to maintain your hips from not swaying from left to right too much. Exhale, now let's go. 1, 2, 3, and now rolling back in. Okay, you strengthen your pec muscles for this one. Let's go for 1, 2 more times, rounding. And now walk, 2, 3. Bring both hands together. And now from here, pushing back, 1, 2, 3, and roll around the spine. Stack the spine from tail to head. Last one here, we're going to stay there, all right? So rolling down, going out 1, 2, 3, and now we join with our hands here. All right, now I'm going to ask you to bend both knees first, okay? If you're super strong in push-ups, go ahead with your knees up. Okay, I'm going to keep my knees down. So from here, open my hands a little wider. I'm going to go with a push-up, 1, and up. Okay, so try not to push your hips back and do this, okay? It's tiring too, but it's not going to really do much in keeping that form. All right, press up 2. And down, press up 3. Down, press up 4. And down, press up 5. Last 3 here, 6. I got surprise for you, all right? 7, Whew. Last one here, 8. And up. Okay. Now, I'm going to get you to tuck your toes under. So I'm going to go down. Now, lift my knees off. Lower the knees down. And push off for 1. Okay, lower down as far as you can. Hold it there. Not too low, if that's ideal. All right, and now lift the knees up. Lower the knees down. And return. Whew. You have 3 more. Bend the elbows. Lift the knees up. Lower the knees down. And return. Last 2 here. Bend. Knees up. Knees down. Return. Last one here. Down. Knees up. Knees down. And return. Okay, now let's just walk ourselves easily back. And now shake our wrists out. Okay, a little bit of planks, a little bit of push-ups. Always good for us. Okay, now let's finish off with a stretch. So I'm going to get you to sit in my favorite mermaid position. So I like to sit in this way. But of course, if some of us have knee problems, we're going to think that it's we're going to find it very challenging to kind of turn the knee inwards. We call it a medial rotation. And you might feel some pain. Okay, so if that's you, cross your legs. Okay, so I'm just going to sit this way. And for those of you who are crossing your leg, maybe try to keep your soles of your feet together. Okay, just in case I missed that out earlier. So I'm going to have my right knee bent to the front, left knee tucked inwards, medially rotated. And now I'm just going to sit tall, inhale. Exhale, now stretch a little bit of your glutes. I know you guys work a bit of glutes with Dawn earlier on. Okay, so we're going to press your hands forward into the mat, reach as far as you can, and chest down. Okay, feel the stretch on your right bum. Stay there. Okay, and now slowly we return. If you have both knees bent, you're going to feel it on both sides. Okay, let's now go into a side bend. So I'm going to have my right hand on the floor. And now take my left hand up, bend my right elbow, and feel like my left hand is stretching out as far as I can go. Like someone's pulling you, tug of war. My left hip is down on the floor, and I feel the stretch. Woo, so good. All right, now we're going to rotate over to face the mat. This is my favorite stretch, so you might see this a lot. Okay, now when you constantly try to reach your left hand away, you feel your lower spine, some muscles around the lower spine stretching out. All right, inhale now, turn back in to face the front. Exhale now, return. Now let's go over to the other side, up and over. And now we return. Okay, let's change legs. So, left knee in, and right knee right knee in and left leg forward. Okay, so sitting up as tall as you can, pelvis is level, inhale. Exhale, now take a few steps and walk out. And just stay as close to the floor as you can. Feel the stretch on your left glute muscle. Take a few deep breaths here. And now slowly we walk back in. Excellent. Now we're going to put our left hand on the floor. And now let's go into a side bend stretch. Reach your right hand long, like someone's pulling it away from you. And now we take it into a rotation. You twist your body downwards to face the mat. Again, someone's pulling your right hand away from you. And you try to keep your right hip down, very important. Okay, if it's up, you don't feel it. Okay, and now slowly twist back in to face the front. And now we lengthen up. Now let's take it into the other side. Stretching out. And now slowly return. Okay guys, that's the end of today's workout. I hope you guys had a good one. So do stay tuned. We still have another program coming out later at 10 o'clock. So stay with us. And also another workout in the afternoon. Okay? So have a great week, everyone. And I'll see you again next week.